Let's picture a typical Stone Age tribe. You probably imagine a muscular guy in a loincloth dramatically hurling a spear at a charging mammoth. Big biceps, a roaring fire, high stakes. The reality is a lot less glamorous. Early hunting was mostly a long string of miserable disappointments. Spears miss, prey runs away, and for days on end, those brave hunters came back with absolutely nothing to eat. But look at the edge of the camp, and you'll find someone else. A small, postmenopausal woman gripping a pointy piece of wood. That woman, with the crunchy knees and zero patience digging in the dirt, is the primary statistical reason your ancestors made it through the Ice Age. Raising a human child is an absolute biological drain. A baby antelope can stand up within an hour and feed itself in a year. A human baby is essentially a screaming potato that cannot walk, find food, or hold up its own head, requiring constant supervision for a decade. This chart visualizes the total energy to raise one human child to independence, a biological bill of 13 million calories. A single exhausted Stone Age mother gathering on her own barely covers the bottom sliver of that requirement. If human survival relied solely on individual mothers foraging for their own children, our ancestors would have starved. The math simply does not work. To survive, the species had to cheat the system. Back in the 1980s, anthropologists studying the Hadza hunter-gatherers in Tanzania expected to watch the men hunt. Instead, they found older women grinding away in the hot dirt for hours on end. They were digging for deep, stubborn tubers. A toddler can pick berries off a bush, but it takes serious physical strength and precise technique to leverage a massive root out of soil that feels like concrete. This line graph maps an older child's growth rate. Initially, health tracks directly with how hard the mother works. But the moment a new baby is born, the mother gets overwhelmed, and the older child's data snaps to match the grandmother's labor. Scientists call this cooperative breeding. Unlike chimpanzees, who guard their infants fiercely, early humans handed babies off to a wider village. A single child might have up to 14 different caregivers holding and feeding them. The grandmother operates as a biological backup generator. The instant the mother's capacity maxes out, that older woman kicks in to keep the existing offspring fed and growing. In almost every other animal species, females remain fertile until the day they die. From mice to lizards, the reproductive factory runs until the lights go out. Human women are the outlier, stopping reproduction in their 50s, but continuing to live for decades afterward. The grandmother hypothesis suggests this shift was a strategic redirection of energy. Instead of risking a late-life pregnancy, an older woman could pour all her survival resources into the next 2 generations. When researchers dug through centuries-old European church records, they found the math playing out. Families with a living grandmother and the next hut over had significantly higher rates of surviving grandchildren. Only one other mammal uses this exact strategy, postmenopausal orcas. When salmon gets scarce, it is the older females who use decades of memory to guide their starving pods to fish. This specialized biological pivot ensures that a family's bloodline can endure through the worst famines, relying on experience when strength alone isn't enough. Researchers ran computer simulations spanning tens of thousands of years to see exactly what happens to a population when grandmothers start helping out. Initially, the simulated lifespan was ape-like, roughly 25 years past maturity. But as grandmothers tipped the odds for survival generation after generation, the lifespan stretched outward, roughly doubling to reach modern human ranges. This extended life provided the metabolic room for other human traits. More years meant more time for children to stay dependent and grow our massive, energy-hungry brains, while multiple overlapping generations ensured that critical survival knowledge was never forgotten. By securing the calories needed for longer childhoods and bigger brains, grandmothering provided the foundational step in the transformation from ape to human. Let's go back to that Stone Age campfire. The hunters are still over there, flexing and telling stories about the mammoth they almost caught. Meanwhile, the woman covered in dirt is holding a baby and a fistful of roots, having quietly kept 3 children from starving that week. The next time your grandmother fusses over your plate at dinner, pressing another helping on you even when you're full, recognize what you are looking at. That is a 30,000-year-old survival instinct running on modern hardware. We owe the old caveman poster a rewrite. The spear gets the credit, but the wrinkly, root-digging engine of the human race actually kept us alive. If you enjoyed digging into the truth behind our ancestors, hit that subscribe button and give this video a like, and drop a comment below telling me about the toughest, most stubborn grandmother in your own family tree. I read them all, and I'll see you next time around the fire.